Las redes sociales están inundadas de todo tipo de entretenimiento, deporte, chisme, juegos y música de todo tipo. El objetivo principal es mantenernos distraídos y desviar nuestra mente de las cosas que realmente importan, como nuestra familia, nuestros valores, el estado del mundo, nuestra relación con nuestros seres queridos y, lo más importante, con Dios. En un esfuerzo por iniciar una conversación sobre temas que realmente importan y traer algo de reflexión, nos fuimos a la ciudad de Granada a preguntar a la gente qué es lo que piensan acerca de sus amigos que se asocian con sus enemigos.
¿Es correcto establecer amistad con el enemigo de tu amigo?
Bueno, en mi parecer, cuando andamos en el camino de nuestro Señor Jesucristo, Dios nos manda a que nos amemos uno a los otros. Y para mí sí es correcto, porque le podemos dar por medio de eso un mensaje, un mensaje de amor, hablarle de la palabra de Dios.
Si esa persona sigue hablando mal de tu amigo, ¿qué piensa usted al respecto?
Bueno, no importa que hablen mal de él, porque las cosas se le dejan a Dios. Porque igual cuando alguien habla mal de uno, más bien nosotros, yo me siento igual feliz porque me están haciendo más importante.
Ajá.
Entonces para mí sí hay que hablarle a las personas, porque hay que orar por ellas, porque no tienen a Cristo en su corazón. Entonces por eso es que ellos sienten odio o hablan de uno y todo, y pues para mí no importa, sí, yo puedo hablarle a ellos.
¿Es correcto establecer amistad con el enemigo de tu amigo?
Bueno, yo diría hasta cierta limitación, ¿verdad? Porque realmente si es el enemigo de mi amigo, ¿verdad? Como amigo, yo lo aconsejaría a él, que no haga eso, pues, ¿verdad? Que no hable de mi amigo, porque sabiendo de que es mi amigo, yo no permitiría que hable de mi amigo. Y hablando pues un poco, como dice, en lo personal y humanitariamente, yo como católico le diría pues que buscara a Dios para que así sepa amar a su amigo, a como yo amo a mi amigo.
¿Es correcto establecer amistad con el enemigo de tu amiga? ¿Cuál es tu punto de vista?
Claro que sí, porque primeramente, ¿verdad? Dios trajo a los seres humanos para que sintiéramos amor por el prójimo. Y es de humano equivocarnos. Es de humano equivocarnos. Y estoy segura de que si yo amo a mi prójimo, aunque me haya hecho lo que me haya hecho, yo no soy nadie para castigarlo. Hay un Dios que todo lo ve, que todo lo sabe, y que Él es el que va a ajustar cuentas con ella. Entonces sí, siempre hay un abrazo para mi enemigo, siempre hay un te quiero, ¿verdad? Hasta una oración por ellos.
¿Es correcto establecer amistad con el enemigo de tu amigo? O sea, alguien que habla muy mal de tu amigo. ¿Es correcto tener una relación de amistad con esas personas?
Sí, se puede tener una amistad, pero no tan muy cerca. Para la realidad, ver que si con aquel amigo es un amigo o es un enemigo. Sí.
So, Brother John Oliver, we want to know if it's correct for establish a friendship with the enemy or your friend. I mean, say your friend have an enemy. Is it correct for you have a friendship with a person or a relationship?
Well, I mean, if this person had done anything wrong to me and he showed me respect and thing, why should I be enemy? I mean, I can be his friend, right? Is the problem is with my friend, not with me.
But at some point in time, you don't think say him would have thought bad about you just like how him thought bad about your friend.
Well, I don't know. If I find out, then well, the relationship would have to cut off.
All right, all right. So for you is good, but
For me,
as long as him not say
as
nothing about you.
long as he just treat me with respect, I think respect, due respect.
All right, all right.
Understand? Yeah, that's what I conclude.
Mr. Al, we'd like to know, is it correct to establish or to have a friendship with the enemy of your friend? Is it correct? Is it logical to have a friendship with that person?
Absolutely. You can have a friendship with anybody. Everybody can have enemies. It's harder to keep friends, so the more friends you can have is better. If the person has a problem with somebody else, that's their problem. That's between those other two people. It's not for you to decide. I always tell people you have to make your own decisions because it could be just a personal conflict with one person.
Don Luis, ¿es correcto establecer amistad con el enemigo de tu amigo? ¿Qué piensa usted?
Bueno, depende el momento, ¿verdad? Porque si yo soy amigo de esa persona y no se ha hecho de enemigo de la persona, pues ya y me parece a mí de que hablar, me parece a mí que no es un pretexto, ¿verdad? Pero en caso que yo fuera, ya fuese enemigo de esta persona y yo haga amistad con esa persona sabiendo que usted es mi amigo, no es correcto. Sí, no es correcto.
Entonces, ¿qué piensa sobre cuál es su punto de vista de las personas que, sabiendo que la otra persona habla mal de su amigo, aún así establecen amistad?
Ya, y me parece a mí que esa persona no es vial tenerla de amigo, porque hay una traición ahí entre esa persona. Sí, eso sería pues mi criterio, pues. Sí.
Doña Yamilet, ¿es correcto establecer amistad con el enemigo de tu amiga? ¿Qué piensa usted?
No es lo correcto, porque si a mi amiga la tomo ya no como una amistad, sino como una hermandad, lo miraría mal porque después esa persona tomaría conversación con otra a hablar después de mí, a espalda de mí. Entonces no lo veo correcto. Yo lo tomé, opiné de que no lo miraría correcto porque después esa persona hablaría de mí y entonces no lo vería porque a punto de vista no lo miraría bien porque es una persona que falsa porque si habla de mi amiga y sabiendo que es mi amiga, en cualquier momento habla de mí. Entonces así.
Doña Petronila, ¿es correcto establecer amistad con el enemigo de tu amiga? ¿Cuál es tu punto de vista?
No, no le sabría decir porque, bueno, si estoy en las cosas de Dios, yo digo que sí, porque no puedo tener en amistad con la otra persona. Así lo miraría.
¿Y piensa usted de que
Me imagino que todos somos iguales, pero, o sea, si la persona habla mal, yo digo que es una persona como hipócrita.
¿Y cuál es tu punto de vista de ser precavido, pues en este caso? Si la persona habla mal de tu amiga, ¿no cree usted de que en algún momento hablaría mal de ti?
Claro que sí, pero como usted sabe que en este mundo así es la vida, ni modo, entonces uno tiene que orar por esa persona.
So I do want you to know that I respect the opinion of each individual I interview. I respect their opinion, and I do believe everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I mean, there is a saying that every head is a whirl, and indeed, every head is a whirl. Every head sees things from different perspective. However, I believe if we want to be objective, we should examine things from different sides, different perspective. If there are three perspectives to the story or three sides to the story, then we should examine the three perspectives. So that's what I intend to do here. I believe in critical thinking, and critical thinking has nothing to do with whether you're a Christian or not a Christian. There are Christians that are critical thinkers, and there are Christians that are just not critical thinkers. But this is not about whether you're a Christian or no Christian. This is a human thing. It's not a Christian thing. To be critical or to be objective. It's not a Christian thing, but a human thing. So I do want to confess that this is not a easy question to answer. This question is a little bit complex, and the reason why it's complex is because there are different sides to the story. There is no black and white answer to the question. There are gray areas that we should also examine. And of course, we can talk about this subject from different perspective. We can touch this subject from different perspective, from a Christian perspective, from a secular perspective. But there is a point where both secularism or secular answers and Christian answer will agree. There are certain points that may not agree, but there are certain points that will bring us together. So I want us to dissect it from a just a human perspective. One of the first thing that you need to question is who is right? Is my friend right? Is the other person right? Who is right? By you getting the story straight or learning the story straight, you can determine who is right. And based on who is right, then you know what to do. You need to pronounce judgment on the person who is right. And the person who is not right, then you don't know what to do. It reminds me of the story in the Bible with Solomon. Solomon, the two ladies, the two moms, and the two baby, a dead baby and the live baby. And you guys know the story. I'm not going to relate or narrate the story. However, we need wisdom to answer these questions. The only reason why Solomon was able to answer or was able to make a good decision is because he had wisdom. Okay, so I mentioned before, the first thing is to determine who is right or who is wrong. After you determine who is right or who is wrong, then your the following step should be to create to reconcile the two groups, to act as a mediator and reconcile the two groups. So try to bring the two groups together. And if it's impossible to bring the two groups together, then you know that better judgment will tell you that you should stay away from the person that's trying to cause harm to the other person. So in this example, we're talking about you have a good friend. We're talking about the enemy of your friend. Let's assume that your friend is a good person and the enemy is the other person with bad or malicious intention towards your friend. So if you know that your friend's enemy, which the word itself, enemy, has malicious intention towards your friend, then your better understanding and sound judgment will tell you that that person is not a good person to deal with or to associate with, because eventually he will turn against you. Now that does not mean that you can't give them the time of the day. If they talk to you or they ask you for maybe some address or they ask you about some question, whether it's a secular question, whatever it is, you can still have a superficial conversation with that person. But it's not wise to have like this association or to even try to mingle yourself up with that person, because you know that it's a problem. It's very problematic, very problematic. The last time I saw a video on the internet where a guy, I believe he was like 21 years old, he was stabbed to death by another guy. I believe it happened in Venezuela or Bogota. I'm not sure where it happened, but some South American countries. And I am sure that the person that took this guy to the enemy or to the other person was his so-called friend. So-called friend took him to the other guy. The other guy trusted in the person who he thought was his friend, and the friend, so-called friend, took him to the enemy and killed him. And the other guy that was stabbing him, I kind of don't want to, I do not want to say the word because, through YouTube algorithm and Facebook, algorithm. But the other guy that was, you know what I'm talking about. He was trying to take off his head, and that was an ugly sight. I have the video, and it's really ugly, man. The other guy was crying and like, "Hey, stop it! Don't do it! It's done!" And the other guy was doing his thing. So you should be very careful. And one of the reason why that happened, that guy that died, or the guy that was killed, he was just 21 years old. He has no life experience and has no knowledge of people's intention. So he fell for it. So the bottom line is no, you should not be friend, or you should not associate with your friend's enemy. But as mentioned before, we're not talking about this little girlish or childish stuff, childish business. So if you see your friend associate with your enemy and you don't see any change of attitude towards you, and you see your enemy has the same bad attitude towards you, or maybe is getting worse, then you know that person is a frenemy. It's not a friend anymore. It's a frenemy. So you have an enemy and then you have a frenemy. But did you know that there are people in this world that love to gossip, and they love to play on both sides? They play on this side and then they play on the other side, and that's like sport to a lot of people. I mean, that's something that they really enjoy. So you should learn to spot those people and, stay away from them. It's better to prevent. There is a saying that it's better to prevent than to lament. That's a Creole talk. And I do believe that, man, with all my heart. You should prevent before lament. So I hope you guys had a better understanding of this subject. I know some of you are expert in this field, but if you have a different point of view, man, share it with us. I welcome different point of view, and if you'd like me to touch a different topic, or maybe interview the population regarding a certain topic, drop a comment. And yeah, man, if you like my content, make sure you subscribe, follow me, and also share my videos. Peace. I'm out.